It's the scene of one of the most infamous matches in provincial rugby history, now 29 years after the volcanic 1994 NPC final. Auckland and North Harbour are back on the Oniwa domain for the 2023 Battle of the Bridge. Kia ora tātou, haere mai ki te Oniwa, a match that always brings the memories flooding back. This one coming at a time where both teams really keen for a win. Keep pace with the early leaders. Auckland winning a loss so far, Harbour 2 narrow defeats. Let's look firstly at the Harbour lineup and welcome in Mills Muliaina.
Talafalama TJ, kia ora atu I Oniwa domain, tamaki Makoto. Well, it's a fairly settled Harbour side up front, Mawhilio, Klein and Mayhew. It's only the captain saw forward, moves into the lock, late change. Lotu Anisi comes in at number 8. Booth and youngster Osikola, they combined again in the halves, as do the midfield pairing. Morgan Fotu Rangi, though, he's elevated to the left wing. And a return for All Black, the new All Black, Sean Stevenson. Nice moment, too, on the bench with Cameron Christie from Silverdale Club in his possible debut.
Well, Auckland coming off a disappointing performance in Blenheim last week. Tasman came out of the blocks, and by the time Auckland really got going, it was just a bit too late. But Coach McGrath has made just minor adjustments to his run on 15. Same forward pack that started at Lansdowne Park. They'll be looking to two recent All Blacks and Patrick Tuipulotu and Akira Ioane for their go forward. They do make a switch at halfback. Taufa Funaki drops back to the bench. He makes way for Kalani Thomas. The only other change in the team's on the left wing. Salesi Rayasi starts after a bit surprisingly left out of the run on against Tasman. Tangitau Funaki dropping back to the bench. Corey Evans making a welcome return to the 23. Let's go sideline. Conditions are going to be challenging. Ricky Swinell.
Kia ora TJ, yes, well, challenging's a nice way to put it. They are pretty grim. It's grey, it's wet, it's cold, and steady rain's been falling for about an hour or so. The ground's in good condition, even though we had a Whara Palmer Cup game. There is a decent breeze coming across, though, left to right, and Auckland have chosen to run into it in the first half.
Thanks, Ricky. The crowd gathering, braving the elements, absolutely blowing in from the north, bringing this constant rain with it. So it's going to test the faithful. Got a sense more like a club ground here these days, but it's still nice and compact and plenty of feeling in this game. Auckland brought some fans over with them. Snatched a late win first up in Tauranga. Never really got out of second gear in Blenheim last week against the Mako. Their record against Harbour over the years is a dominant one for Auckland. Haven't been to Oniwa since 1995 when they lost. But overall, they've won about 29 games to 8. So they certainly have history on their side as Harry Plummer leads them out. It's, of course, the home ground of the Takapuna Rugby Club these days. It's Takapuna Athletics Club as well. Players just walk down the concrete path and out onto the field. Quick check of the conditions as they come out onto the Oniwa. Salesi Rayasi, certainly when he came into the game, was a player who looked capable of Auckland getting them back into the match last week. Part of a very threatening Auckland back three. If they can get the ball and hang on to it in these conditions, they'll be dangerous. North Harbour bringing a second match this year to this, their foundation ground. It was their home venue for the first 12, 13 years of their existence. They were very competitive through that era, and so far this year they have been competitive, but have fallen to 2 narrow defeats. So they're going to turn things around. Now would be a pretty good time to do it for coaches Dan Halangahu and Ben Apiaki, and what a boost to their hopes of doing that. A recently minted All Black makes his return in the form of Sean Stevenson, and he provides some of his magic to spark a Harbour upset here this afternoon. Late change in their forward packs, and Cameron Suafoa moved into lock. Lotu Inisi, the captain, goes into the number 8 jersey. And here's Billy Norton. brings out the match ball. Billy's up. Mahurangi represented here this afternoon. Cam Stone is the referee. Scott McKenzie and Dean Harris, the assistants. Jonathan Patterson is the TMO.
We good to go?
So we're all set. The 2023 Battle of the Bridge. It'll be Auckland to kick off. Harbour away to the left. We're all set here at Onewa Domain. And it's Zane Sullivan who kicks off straight away. Sean Stevenson.
Well done. Slow this first line out down.
Right boot into play, takes it up almost to halfway, and we'll have the first line out of the match.
Yeah, well, one thing we're going to have, there's a lot of kicking,
Just hold,
tricky
hold,
conditions
two,
down there,
hold.
slippery, but both teams possess very, very competent kickers.
For everybody, whole game. Start. Two, go back.
Just interested in
Stay
the direction of the wind. Initially it was coming in from the north. It might have switched around a little. I just wonder whether it is going to favour Harbour in the first half. This one goes over the back, collected by Shiloh Klein for Harbour. So
12's all good.
they get the ball off that first line out and they send Auckland back, and Sullivan's going to have to force that. It'll be a goal line dropout.
Goal line.
So that's a good outcome for North Harbour.
Oh, we're just seeing how slippery it is, just overcooked it. You mentioned there's a bit of wind down there too, Ricky.
You know, it is still coming in from the north, left to right. We saw in the Farah Cup game earlier, it came and went quite a bit, and it's certainly stronger than it was maybe an hour or so ago.
So Sullivan punches the dropout into that wind. And here's Inisi, powerful carrier. This is his home patch.
Advantage 4, no arms.
They take it away to the left. Stevenson. Ball's been dropped though by Tom Barham, but the referee was playing advantage.
Patrick, you're going
And
to
so
make
they'll come back for a penalty.
I got it.
Just got him for not wrapping his arms there, with a shoulder on.
Must wrap, lads, please.
Patrick to a Pelotu. And a shot at goal it is.
Well, yeah, got the breeze behind you. It's a kick of just over 40 metres, but I can tell you that young fella who's about to line up the post, he's well capable. This is a shot for Oscar Kola, Patrick Tui Pelotu. But here's Kola. He's a young man out of Takapuna Grammar, plays for the North Shore Club. He was a key man in North Shore, winning the Harbour Championship this year. He's a very strongly built player for a number 10. And with the breeze at his back, he's got a chance here to put Harbour in front. Certainly got plenty on it and drills it. That's a good kick. Probably no kick's going to be that easy this afternoon, Mills, but that's a nice way to start.
Yeah, great settler too for the young man. Definitely hit that cleanly. Never looked like missing. So Harbour on the board nice and early.
Classic situation. They'll be looking to build a good lead by half-time. Auckland will have other ideas, of course. Kick will hold up in the breeze. Kate Banks, like our ball carrier.
Use it!
It's, from Mahurangi. These days playing here too for the club. Right, ball comes away. Jamie Booth.
Don't do that.
Well, quite confidently sending it away to touch, and they'll put the pressure back on Auckland at line-out time, and they have had their wobbles at the set piece this particular phase of the game, Mills.
Yeah, just a synergy within it. They'd already lost it first one, haven't
Hold
they?
you guys.
Already a bit of movement, so a bit of nerves as well.
I was only going at about 72% coming into this game, and they've already lost one, but that is better work. That's Akira Ioane. Sullivan pulls down a high one and then takes the line on. Tui Pelotu going to be really important. Ball in hand. Tui Fasashek looking to step, thread his way through. Now they've got him held up though. Calling for a maul. And well, they've ripped it away anyway, North Harbour, and Stevenson will belt it away downfield. The wind's going to carry it. Back inside the 22 goes Sullivan. And Good chase too. That's excellent work from Daniel Morgan Putirangi to get up there, but he's managed to get it away to Salesi Reasi, trying to hold him up as well, but he's got the strength to take it to ground. And they go to the forwards.
Leave it.
Just to create a bit of space.
Hold you guys.
Now, Sullivan, well, he's put it high, racing forward Kohler, but he leaves it, and that's nicely taken on the right wing by Banks, and so Harbour get the ball back. Klein. Booth now clears it away. Stevenson at first receiver. We'll see plenty of that this afternoon. A good, strong carry from Cameron Suafoa. And, yeah, not rolling away, Joshua Fusitua. And this will be another opportunity for points here for Harbour.
You had ample opportunity to go.
They're building nice pressure, aren't they, Harbour?
Please.
They're under a bit of the pump in terms of their defensive effort, being able to turn it around.
Shot.
Big, strong boot from Sean Stevenson. But both sides, Ricky, some of the skill set, especially in these conditions, we haven't had a mistake yet.
Really impressive, isn't it? But what we're going to see from Harbour is some of this percentage. It's going to be so important. Playing the percentages, getting your opposition down inside their own 22. For large parts of this match, it's going to be a real grind at times. And those guys you mentioned, like Reasi or Stevenson, just making sure they stay in matches like this one when the conditions aren't overly suited to outside backs.
Oh, the ball security has been good. Now, Kohler, great final. 2 tries, 21 points in the final against Takapuna. So here he is looking for his second points of the afternoon. He very confident, really strikes the ball with authority. And so Harbour extend their lead 6-0 at Oniwa. Rain continuing to drive in. And for the third time already, Sullivan, this time just putting a bit more depth on it. Stevenson again, he'll just slam it away downfield. Tuivasa-Sheck comes across, he lets it bounce. That might go too far. It will. That's the danger when you just hoop it away downfield. And Roger Tuivasa-Sheck, he was a weight to that. They'll have to come a long, long way back for a scrum, Auckland.
It almost seemed like he missed hit that, trying to get a banana kick on it so that it would break to the right. But well left by Roger Tuivasa-Sheck, and a real good and a timely opportunity now for Auckland to try and get their game together. They've carried pretty well. Just lost that ball over, so body position is going to be key. Reasi, they're just sitting in behind Sullivan. Try and get someone to bite in.
Without a pre-match, that's my pre-match.
Well, we mentioned that
Let's go.
Auckland have had a few line-out malfunctions, but their scrum has been very good, rock solid. And so they can establish a good platform here.
Stand up. Yep, both feet are still up.
Front row, Angus Ta'aval
Props.
at
Keep your space.
tight head.
Keep your space.
And then
Props.
you
Okay.
can see there's
Feet are up.
Sawani
Balance is there.
Vikena,
Keep your
and
space.
just
Thanks.
to his right. Joshua Fusitua has come out of the Blues development program. Regular starter. And they're up against, well, pretty seasoned campaigners, and Tavita Mafileo, Nick Mayhew, and Shiloh Klein.
Crouch!
Reasi is parked up just on the left shoulder of Zahn Sullivan. Nice hold by Harbour. And they give it straight to Reasi. And he gets through the first tackle as well.
Release, guys.
He's taken by Kohler, but he's got them on the front foot here. Akira Ioane, good leg drive from him. Just 10 metres away from the line. Tui Polotu. These are the key men in that Auckland forward pack.
Advantage.
And there's an offside here. Stretching through. Taken quickly by Kalani Thomas. Oh, what a great heads-up play. Given the start here this afternoon, and he has well and truly caught them napping for the first try of the game.
Oh, gee, that was nice from the young man. Just catching North Harbour off guard. Key here really was how quick that ball was. North Harbour coming in from the side. Just there, infringing. But the nous of this young guy, quick tap, Nice little left foot step, and over he goes for a try, Ricky.
Well, Auckland have started both of their previous 2 matches really poorly. They've been chasing games right from the start, but that's exactly the work from Kalani Thomas, as you said, Tony, given the start, bit between the teeth and taking it upon himself to finally get Auckland rolling early in a match.
Zahn Sullivan, he's right out in front for this, and that means a chance to put Auckland in front after conceding those early penalties. And the flags go up. It's Auckland 7, Harbour 6.
You can't underestimate the quality of his decision for this young guy. He's got super rugby experience outside and plenty of leaders in front of him. But to have the ability and the confidence to take a quick tap and go himself and collect a try, outstanding.
Well, he's come out of the Queensland Reds, where for some time been looking to develop him, but this would be great experience for him playing in this competition. And a good start he's made to the game. Rayasi back into the action. Got that quite heavily strapped right knee. Salesi Rayasi. Akira Ioane with the leg drive.
Don't touch the halfback, you lads.
They'll send it back to Sullivan, and again that kick hanging up in the wind. Stevenson, well, he had a long way to come forward. He eventually gets it, and he's put on the ground.
Leave it.
Booth. The Forwards will take it over. Klein's been busy early on. Now the switch of play. Kate Banks, who's a lively stepper, elusive player.
Thank you,
Booth
well
again.
done. Good improvement.
Stevenson. Cam Suafoa, who is one of the more impressive ball-carrying lock forwards in New Zealand rugby at this level. Coming off a very good season with the Blues. Now look, they go wide. Morgan Kutirangi slipping the first one, turns it back on the inside. Taipu was there, but good covering defence from Harry Plummer and puts him into touch.
Oh, I need it to happen.
Here, Harry, real quick. Much as I love the enthusiasm and the support from your players, I am not going to listen to their commentary the whole game. Quick message, please. Okay. You got about 10 seconds.
No, referee
Liners.
stamping his mark. Authority on the players, getting a lot of chat.
Lines
You know how intense these battles are, TJ. There's plenty of heat out there.
It's inside.
So the lineup of Auckland is just a couple of forwards out on the back line for the line out, and one of them, Adrian Choate, the carry.
I've just
This
said,
time
Kira,
cooking to the far side.
Be quiet. I'll referee it. Thank you.
Boy, Cam Stone, he is certainly wielding the mean stick already, isn't he? He's just given Akira Ioane a bit of, I don't want to hear anything more out of you. So Shiloh Klein. Line out for Harbour. It's through the hands
all the way, backwards all the way.
Nakuru, but it didn't go back. It didn't go forward, I should say, and so Inisi's able to cart it up
Well done, mate. Good job.
to the forwards to take over. Suafoa. Booth now. Harbour trailing now by a point. Stevenson, nice little cutout pass to Banks. Chop back in field. Takes some stopping. It's Kate Banks. Caller sends it on to Klein, and he's dropped that in contact. The referee says play on. Well, they've held him up. Oh, he's done well to get that away, has Booth, and they can spread it here now. Again, the pass goes wide. Keeping ball in hand. McGahn with the carry out wide, the blindside flanker. Now Booth has a little snipe down the left. He scored a really good try last week against Canterbury. That time he's lost the ball, but it had gone into touch. And in fact, the flag indicates that it's going to be a Harbour throw to the line out.
AJ Lamb, I think, got over the ball. Must have just narrowly stepped out. Certainly putting a lot of heat on this Auckland defence. They're equal to the task. He goes round Booth. Here it is. Almost snipes around that blind side, Ricky.
Good start to the game, hasn't he, Jamie Booth? Did really well to get rid of that possession when it was a maul, as Tony said, as they go away here.
And Suafoa, it's a loose pass. Caller, well, he had to wait for it to make sure he collected it. So they've lost ground.
Use it, Jamie.
Lost a bit of momentum, but they've still got possession. McGann now. Tamaro McGann.
Use it.
In the 6th jersey. Klein once more. And a good strong ball carry, driving through the tackle of Fusitua. So now they attempt a bit of pick and go rugby here. Suafoa.
Hold here. Leave the ball, leave it. Blue.
Now they spread it. Collar quickly got rid of it. Did Morgan Puturangi, and Nisi stepping back and breaking tackles, and
Tackle!
once more
Out, mate.
showing his powerful qualities. Collar sent it out into the midfield, threatening Harbour. Auckland's defence is holding, and now the intercept by Rayasi. Well, Banks is after him, but he's not going to pull him, is he? Oh, boy, he's got to him. Great tracking back, and now the ball's been lost. Well, that is brilliant from Cade Banks, because normally in a head-to-head, you would back Salesi Rayasi.
Oh, absolutely.
Against most.
I'm sorry, TJ, absolutely. Banks should not give up. He got a brilliant head start, did Rayasi. Here it is, our building shape. Rayasi comes off his line, intercept. There's that clear run away, but how about the determination, but also the effort to stop him. Rayasi tries to get back up, Ricky, but no way.
I'd started to write it in the notebook. I'd started R-A-Y, writing it down, try. He did get a bit of a head start, and the good thing about a ground like this too is the crowd are right in close, and so they were roaring that he was a mile offside. But Cade Banks, what an effort.
Balance again, please, both sides.
So they'll have a scrum, 5 out.
Crouch.
Heroic piece of defence
Fine.
from Cade
Sit.
Banks. He gave him a good 5 or 6 metres.
No. Clear.
Harbour's scrum is solid. Good strong carry from Taifu. And back they go for the clear and kick. Well, that's been partially charged, so this will be a Harbour throw, but inside the 22. Banks, there he is. Auckland looking to apply a bit of pressure here.
Auckland, keep your space.
Well, no doubt look to challenge the line out. Suafoa, well, he came forward, but then they left it, and Henri Nakuru, who's come north,
Okay, come now.
looking for more regular game time than he was getting at
That's
Tasman.
one, not moving, Jamie. There was one, stopped.
Auckland really putting some good pressure on, and Booth in the end done pretty well.
Out, blue out.
Now I look to pick it up and carry it away through Jed Melvin.
Use it, Jamie.
The open side flanker. Booth,
Wingers on.
and with the breeze to carry it down towards halfway, he clears. So a bit of pressure there from Auckland, following up from the intercept, but Harbour come away with it, and they managed to clear their lines.
You're just seeing there, Harbour have had all the possession territory, starting to turn. Auckland getting themselves back in the game.
Tui Pelotu wins the line out again. They go straight to Rayasi. Mayhew trying to get in and contest possession, and they've forced
Okay, hey,
the error.
I'm going to explain here. The whole time you had an opportunity to place the ball, you've pushed it into him, which has caused you to knock it on. So, hang on, he's allowed to roll to the side, which is making an effort. Scrum here.
There's no doubt about who's boss out there, Millsy.
He's certainly
Just all I'm asking
explaining
is
it
not
all,
push
isn't he? Setting the tone as the referee.
Makes it pretty hard to argue the point when he's so definite. Job done, onwards you go.
Crouch. Yes, space, please.
Well, these two played out a tight one last year. That was at Albany. Auckland won it 21-18.
Set.
Well, this time
Other side.
it's a free kick.
You've gone early.
early engage.
No scrum.
And so Auckland, well, as tends to happen in situations like this, they go straight back to the scrum.
Yep. Here you go.
Yeah, we've seen the speed of the ruck too. The last time they were down in this position, the difference now is they've got a little bit of a blind there. Rayasi, that's a 17 metre.
Break.
That blind side. Sullivan's sitting in behind. So Booth's decision here on defence is crucial, especially if Akira Ioane gets going on that back end of that scrum.
Fine. Set.
Auckland again trying to apply the shove, and this time they have got it going forward. Controlled in the back by Ioane. Now it clears away to Plummer. Goes through the tackle of Anesi, back to his feet again. That's a good run from Harry Plummer. Got Auckland well and truly on the front foot. Gibson with the carry now. Ta'avao offloads it nicely. Thomas. Tuipulotu quickly
There was no
offloading
advantage from the scrum.
it to Akira Ioane.
You've pulled back.
They swing it away to the right again. It's Tuipulotu. Stevenson trying to get some hands on the ball. Told to leave it. Ioane now puts the head down. Auckland's threatening. Ta'avao. Ridden to the ground by Nakuru, but they're just a couple of metres away. Vikena very dangerous from this range, and so too's the man who's going to pick the ball up. Ioane transfers it away to his left. Choke was there. Going to try and muscle it over here, Auckland.
Stay on, stay on.
Ioane, he's got a couple of players ready to drive him forward.
Advantage.
He's got them offside too. Here's Cam Stone, Tuipulotu having another go. Now they'll swing it away to the right. Sullivan is there, steps through, scores. Off the right foot goes Zahn Sullivan, and Auckland have their second try.
Oh, you put that down to the hard work of your forward pack. Nice and patient. Had plenty of support players close to them, but did an accuracy. A lot of accuracy shown in the clean out. Harry Plummer busted through, very direct. You're seeing here from some of the running that the Auckland are producing. The intent is clear. Sullivan steps off his right, steps back in there, finds a little wee hole, over he goes.
Yeah, Sullivan's name will be on the score sheet, but it's the front eight that did all the work, started with that excellent scrum, which is such a good platform for Auckland to build from, and then just going to work, nice and patient, as you said, Bills, grinding away when they had to, and then letting the fancy footwork go in close.
Yeah, forwards rolled up their sleeve. I think, too, you've got to give some credit. Harry Plummer, that initial run from him gave them the front foot. The forwards took over from there, and then the finishing touch applied by Sullivan. Scores the try, converts it, and Auckland out to 14-6. Having conceded those early penalties, they've scored 2 unanswered tries, both converted. RC receives the kick-off. Auckland, this is the 6th time they've visited this ground. Their record here is very good. Only one defeat here, and that was way back in 1995. And of course, the final was played here. It was always a controversial decision, but the way the laws were played out in those days, that if you hosted the round robin game and played again in the final, it was played at the venue of the club the team that hadn't hosted the round robin game. That's why it got to be here. And the rest, as they say, is history. It's brought up at this time every year. Down the back it goes. And taken nicely by Nakuru. So Harbour.
Okay, out now to
good carry too from Melvin. Looking to get themselves back on more like level terms after the early advantage that they had. Good line-out drive. Just a little bit loose, but Barham sees the opportunity to send it away to Stevenson. But on the ground, AJ Lamb making the tackle. They're back on the 22, and here's Melvin from the East Coast Bays Club, Inisi, He's been a handful, but they put him on the ground on the 22. So having to be patient here with some good defence by Auckland. McGann goes hard. Gibson was there, McKenna to stop him. Still haven't got it over the 22. And Nisi probing away. And nice footwork from Suafoa. Gets the ball inside the 22. Klein now. Just moving it a metre at a time here, Harbour. Back in the hands of Melvin. Take it to the left, Suafoa. Driven back in the tackle. That's excellent defence, McKenna and Ioane again, and Nisi. And that's even better. Oh, what a great tackle made by Patrick Tuipulotu. And Nisi came at him hard, and he met him with force and drove him back and forced the error.
A couple of big hits there from the Auckland team. Really underneath them, got it to the ball. And they seem really composed in the close quarters to Auckland. Prepared to make some tackles. And more importantly, they're slowing that ball down. And they're ready to go again, Ricky. Some big stuff.
Yeah, first time Harbour's really asked questions of that Auckland defence, consistently pressing and probing at them, but Auckland absolutely up to it, organised. They're putting in some big shoulders, which a couple of the big boys are feeling the effects of now, but really, Harbour just not making any ground at all.
Yeah, McKenna, one of those involved in that tackle. It's going to take a moment. Well, let's take you back to that famous occasion. 1994, it was packed. And there was a lot of needle in this game in the days leading up to it. And the punches, they came early. Inside the first minute, the first ones were thrown. And Eric Rush here, he'd been taken out by Robin Brook and sought his revenge on Zinzan. He was sent off. Sean Fitzpatrick it was who capitalised on the error. The drop ball on the goal line by Warren Burton. Then down the other end, Walter Little. He gave Harbour a sniff. In the meantime, I think Robin Brook had been sent off as well, but it was Zinni who had the big smile on his face at the end of it. Didn't end there either. It was a pretty lively aftermatch, and then so many players were cited. They decided instead of taking them to Wellington, as they used to do in those days, it was a lot cheaper to bring the judiciary up to Auckland. And so they all gathered in a hotel room on the Monday or the Tuesday morning. There's the Harbour coaching staff, but we're not going to see any of that today. I'm quite certain.
Bind!
Every year they have a Battle of the Bridge breakfast leading up to this game.
Clear it.
We'll laugh about it now. It wasn't very funny at the time.
Well done.
And Stevenson. So Auckland, their defence has stood up to the period on defence, but Stevenson gets Harbour going forward again. Carry from Cameron Suafoa. Always makes ground. Auckland trying to fly up on defence was Plummer.
Hey, out now, Blue! Well done.
A bit of pressure on, but Booth there to tidy it up. Collar decides, get rid of it. Boots it down towards the 22. Sullivan is there, nicely positioned, has a look.
Blue!
Tries to find some ground down the middle, and he's got it in behind Jamie Booth here. And remember, Booth, the wind is not quite so strong at the moment, but he manages to send it out up towards halfway.
Just looking back at that footage of that incredible match many years back, it's the glory of a ground like this, isn't it, where the fans are right up against the sideline. You can smell the sausages wafting across and everyone's right into it. It's the beauty of the NPC glory days.
Tackle only, out.
Yeah, and it's been great circumstances. I mean, we've had a few games played on the smaller grounds. I think we've got a Shield game, recreation ground, Wellington. Well, Auckland playing under advantage here. Henry Taifu had crept up offside. Plummer wide. It goes a lovely transfer from Rayasi to Roger Tuivasa-Sheck, and he steps his way up to the 22. Well, that's excellent from Rayasi, and here he is clearing the ball away to his right. Carried up by Choate. Mayhew has gone down. He doesn't look too good.
Offside.
Ball swung away to Rouse. He's popping up all over the place. Sends it away to AJ Lamb. And Auckland have their third.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant from Auckland. Outstanding team try. They had a penalty advantage. Their clean-out's been really effective. Nice bodies on. Beautiful ball on that inside from Rayasi. Roger Tuivasa-Sheck does his stuff, but it was the back ball that came in the midfield by one of the bigger boys. Right here, Tarval puts him in front, and then a beautifully drifted pass out wide, and the finish from Lamb, outstanding.
Brilliant skill in such difficult conditions as well. He deserves a smile and a finger point in that. They've got a great strike rate, Auckland. Once they get into the 22, they very often come away with points, and they've done so again. You mentioned Nick Mayhew didn't look good in back play. Right wrist he is clutching. He still stayed down, sitting on that 22 right arm. Looking at it at the moment.
Well, being attended to by his father, John Mayhew, who has been
15.
a fixture in North Harbour rugby right back to those days. He was certainly here that day, 1994. He'd been with the All Blacks, so he's just attending to Nick at the moment as the kick comes in from wide out. Unsuccessful, but hands down Auckland's best start of the championship so far. 19-6 they lead as we approach the half-hour mark.
Here's that ball back in the air, everyone in motion. Yeah, nice skill set and the finish.
Well, brilliant in its efficiency and its accuracy, the making of that try.
Well done.
Kohler kicks down with a 22. Kira Ioane, who's the ball with force. Shiloh Klein felt that one. Berry ripped this one off, and it's McGann who's got his hands wrapped around the ball. He's called maul, so they can take it to ground, and they will get the scrum feed here, Harbour. So some good heads-up play there from Tamaro McGann.
He got it right underneath the ball,
No, I didn't
he?
I thought they got there enough, and you guys...
Actually thought he'd got his knees to the ground earlier than that, but well picked up. Everyone got in around him. Chance for Harbour, try and get that momentum back.
Touch and go, wasn't it? Look, I think he felt that he had got a knee on the ground, but referee Stoney was right there.
And you two stop playing games with your heads, please. You've had your fun, just get on with it. Crouch!
Now he's playing the fun police.
Bind! Set!
Auckland just trying to get a nudge on there as the ball was
Don't
going
feel
in.
there was enough stability to get
Just
the ball
looks like their scrum's starting to gain an edge here, Mills.
Gun and chase, no.
Yeah,
But I
and the
felt there was
scoreboard
enough
as well.
stability.
That'll give them some confidence, some heavy hitters
Yep.
up front.
Let's go.
Angus Tarval, you see, been out with injury all year.
Well, it's just great to see him back playing, and reading a very good story about him and the ordeal that he went through, particularly that neck injury. It got very, very scary on him. But he's had to take his time, had to be very patient, very determined, but he's back.
Bind!
And his experience and proven ability, just gold for a team like Auckland. Nisi had to take it off the back. Booth flings the pass wide forward. Just drifting forward out of the hand. It put Banks in space.
I wish it was, eh?
But they'll have to come back for the scrum.
Oh, unfortunate, wasn't it? Because it was definitely on. Sucked in the midfield. See, they go, they jam in. Over the top. Just forward from Booth here.
A lot in it.
That's good. Yep, that was excellent. Let's go, guys. Come on. Keep the game moving.
Harbour bench. Chance for a debut today for Cameron Christie from the Silverdale Club.
Crouch.
6-2 split.
Bind!
they've gone for.
Set!
32 minutes gone. Auckland 3 tries to 0. Now the Auckland scrum comes under a bit of pressure, but expertly taken off the back by Ioane and makes really good ground too. Thomas clears it away now. Lamb, one of the try scorers, getting close to the touchline. Tuivasa Shek stayed in defence.
Leave it now, you're off your feet.
Thomas now digs it out. Gibson.
Well done.
Good front foot possession here and plenty of room for Sullivan to get the kick away. Waiting back for it is Collar. Got the call from Stevenson and off he goes. Well, I know they have to watch him, Auckland. They work it away towards the right. Taefu sending a little kick through for Banks to get after, but in the touch it skids.
You spoke about the efficiency, some of that ball. The cleaners for me for Auckland are really doing a good job. The accuracy and then going past the ball. It's just producing some quality ball for the halfback Thomas to be able to operate with.
So Suwane Vikena overthrew the first one. But since then, nailed 4 of the, well, just as I say that, Harbour get up and challenge. And that's great work from Suafoa. So they get another line-out turnover here. Enisi really, Harbour, I'm sure, having played with the wind at their back in the first half, desperately wants some points before half-time here. And they get a penalty. Now, this is very kickable.
Guys, he's going to come through. Leave the halfback alone. He's not a part of the breakdown.
Question is, do they feel at this stage, with a score like this, whether 3's enough?
Just right on me.
Looks like they're gearing up for that sideline. A lot of possession. Much reward lately of Harbour. So they feel go to a set piece as he mailed it out.
No, he has not.
Hold on, sorry, Harry.
Well, some really good work. I think it was Tuivasa Shek who kept it in play, and Lamb, well, a crossfield run, but he's given his teammates time to get back and support. So there, a mistake from the young number 10 from Harbour, just trying to peel off a bit too much ground. Back in the hands of Stevenson. Off he goes, little hitch kick, and takes it to ground just short of the 22. Another carry from Suafoa. Kola Enisi shakes off the first one, and again takes a lot of stopping. Vikena, the tackler. Kola felt that he had to take the defence on, left the ball behind, kept going by Booth. Auckland, well, they were claiming a knock on, and now they get a penalty anyway.
No, Ioane getting over the ball there, just a little bit isolated from that carry. He got it nice and early, and this is a bit also on defence that Auckland are really starting to challenge, winning the contact, getting that support player in, and at worst case, they're actually slowing that ball down.
You can't touch the halfback who's not a part of the breakdown. Even if it's 2 people going with them? Yeah, correct. You still can't bring him in or take him out.
Just make one more mention of the 1994 final. I called that game on radio that day, and I did it in the company of the great Pete Montgomery. And it's been a really tough couple of weeks for Pete, for Johnny, and for Kate, following the loss of their beloved Claudia, Pete's soulmate, Johnny and Kate's mum. And I know, Ricky, you were there the other day. Massive, huge turnout to farewell Claudia, and our love goes to the family.
Absolutely, a wonderful woman. She lit up a room everywhere she went, Claudia. And they love North Harbour rugby as well, that family too.
Worth a try, Nick.
Yep, as Pete said of Claudia, you could take the girl out of Takapuna, but you could never take Takapuna out of the girl. Or was it the other way around? Here's Salesi Rayasi, who really has impressed. He's been busy this afternoon. And that kick bouncing inside the 22, and Stevenson's had to belt it back in field, and boy, that's, well, it looked like a good outcome.
Well done for pulling out of that.
But the flag has gone up,
lads.
and it's a 50-22.
Yeah, and that's why Stevenson needed to do that before he originally got it back inside. It's a nice kick over the top by the young halfback.
come on, let's go. Ball's here, let's go.
Well, that's a really good outcome. So the breeze just dropped away a bit. I don't know whether that would have been on at the outset of the game, but more really good work from Thomas, although again the line out. Harbour, that line out's keeping them in the contest. Third time in this game they've either stolen it or profited from a throw that didn't go where it was supposed to, and it just continues to be one little bugbear for this Auckland team.
Yeah, it's just that momentum to carry that on. The coaches, I'm sure, they'll be noting that down. Stephen Bates with his pad. Of course, Craig McGrath there, the head coach.
We've got Census Johnson there, working away. Such a illustrious career overseas he had.
Stay bound here, 5. Stay bound.
That line out, well set up here, Auckland. McKenna's got it in the back, and they've got a good 5-6 metre headway here.
It's the same move. Well done.
They smuggled it away to Thomas Plummer. Made a couple of really strong carries. McKenna clattering into Henry Taefu there.
Not supporting your body weight.
Now, Akira Ioane. Good sign always for Auckland when he can get the ball on or in the hands plenty of times, but Tavita Mapeleo, he's dived through there. I think initially he was okay.
You've got to support your body weight. You cannot fall into the half-back zone. Must support your body weight, lads.
Well, he grabbed the ball but then went off his feet, and so this is a penalty right out in front for Auckland.
Get the ball and fall in that area.
And nicely explained too by the referee. He initially did have it, as you said, TJ, and then was losing his momentum, used the ground, keep himself up. It's a nice little fight there. Here it is. Ricky getting over the top, just losing the ground too, prop himself back up.
Big turnaround though, isn't it? Considering Harbour were hammering away at Auckland there for a period of about 5 or 6 minutes, and then the 50-22 turned them around, and more points here for Auckland as we head towards half-time. It's going to be a handy lead for the visitors.
There's some smart work in there from Adrian Choate too, because he recognised what was going on and wrapped his arm around one of the legs of Mapeleo, and that forced him off his feet. And that's where the penalty came from, and this is right in front for Sullivan, and the lead is extended. It's 22-6 now at Unewa. Auckland over Harbour.
We're restarting.
Well, they'd already called for the restart, so play will carry on. But after those early 2 penalties from Harbour, Auckland have really controlled this game, and AJ Lamb, I think like the rest of his teammates, will turn. He puts the ball in a touch and they'll head off to the sheds. Pretty satisfied with how things have gone here in the first half. Auckland have scored 3 tries to none, and they lead Harbour in the Battle of the Bridge by 22-6.
The Premier League is back. Get in.
Absolutely incredible! It is business as usual.
Does your living room need a refresh? Freedom's spring sofa sale is on now, with up to 25% off selected sofas, living and dining furniture, and up to 50% off all mattresses. Sale on now, only at Freedom.
Hi-ho! 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 Hi-ho, hi-ho, hi-ho! Hi-ho! It's home from our Rico! Hi-ho! Hi-ho! It's home from our Rico!
What are you up to, Juddy?
I'm looking at the multitude of options for farmers to grow their own feed.
You need glasses?
No, a loud halo. Farmers need to hear this.
Spot on, Juddy. There's huge benefits for farm-grown feed, Available pasture and forage options means farmers have choice.
And we have all the information to help farmers make that choice at gofarmgrowing.co.nz so they can grow with confidence.
That's a wrap, Juddy.
It's a Brassica Ale.
Didn't get your enrolment update pack? You'll need to enrol or update your details. It's quick and easy to do online with just your New Zealand driver licence or passport. Feed up time. Or not. Go to vote.nz or call 0800 36 76 56.
Would you rather toes the nipple or nipples the toe?
Imagine stubbing your nipple.
Would you rather live with the regret of something you did or something you didn't do? All right, I've got one. Would you rather have gone out with your mates last night and had too many beers? And maybe thought about everyone else in your life? Or would you rather have gone out with your mates last night and jumped in your car and get stopped by the cops? What would you rather?
You work hard, so does your equipment. You can't afford to stop. So when a hydraulic hose or fitting lets go, you need to know there's someone around to get you back up and running fast. No matter where you are or what time it is, your local NZ hose doctor will be there. With an extensive network all around the country, chances are we're not that far away. You work hard at what you do, and at NZ, we work hard to keep you going. NZ, on call 24/7.
Get game ready with Sony TV deals at Harvey Norman. And now, get a $400 bonus gift card on all premium Sony Bravia X95 L-Series Mini LED TVs. Available in 65-inch, a huge 75-inch, and the enormous 85-inch. Why not pair it with this impressive Dolby Atmos soundbar for the perfect big game experience? Get game ready with Sony TV deals at Harvey Norman. Limited time only. The Gen 3 supercars are lighting up Australia. Camaro versus Mustang.
What a battle!
The Ben Super Sprint, live Sky Sport.
Well, conditions have been tricky, but that hasn't stopped Auckland producing some quality rugby on their way to a 22-6 lead over Harbour at half-time. 3 tries, all of them really well constructed and taken. And here was the first one after they'd fallen behind to 2 early penalties, Mills Muliaina.
Yeah, they did, didn't they? And really nice heads-up play here from the young halfback. Quick tap, away he goes, and he scores their first try to get them back into the game after an early onslaught from North Harbour. Really good stuff.
Well, they continue to put the pressure on, and this really just the end result of some excellent lead-up work. Firstly from Harry Plummer, who made the first incision. The forwards carried it on, opened up the space. Sullivan took it well, and this was a beauty.
It was a team try, wasn't it? Some pressure, real good speed of the ruck. AJ Lamb, he capitalises on that. Nice little ball out the back to Heath, and then the floating pass out wide to Lamb, who dots down.
Yes, it was Angus Ta'aval who threw that back ball right where it needed to be. As we look at the stats, it looks even, but that perhaps belies the situation. In fact, really the only problem Auckland have had has been a bit more trouble with their line out. The rest of it, they've been good.
Yeah, certainly have, as you say, fairly even. And the speed of the ruck has been really the dominating factor for Auckland, being able to get past the ball. North Harbour, though, they're certainly in this. They've got some strike power out wide. It's just having the ability to be able to get that ball out to those strike weapons.
The Harbour played with the wind in the first half. It was strong at their backs early on. Not so as the half wore on. As we look around the crowd, a lot of them coming from other parts. I know there's been a couple of big school games on, including the North Harbour Schools final. But here they are, 22-6. Well, all about supporting grassroots for Bunnings, and Bunnings Rugby Assist program's been, again, helping community rugby around Aotearoa, helping clubs upgrade their facilities so that they're even more welcoming for the entire community. Clubs have been applying for a chance to get a share of $300,000 worth of Bunnings products and materials. 10 winning clubs have been announced. You can check out Bunnings' social media platforms for more information on that, but it's a great cause.
We're down here at Wainui Rugby Club, and I'm so excited because we're revealing the refurbishments of the toilets and the changing rooms.
We've been able to achieve a lot. We've been able to upgrade our shower facilities to have individual cubicles for females to shower in privately, and we have 2 lovely toilets for our females to use. It's a dream. It makes us feel valued, supported and included.
Bunnings Rugby says coming in here and making the women feel welcome and heard is going to change our nation.
A lot can happen in 4 years. But one thing stays the same. The urge to beat the best on the world's biggest stage. Rugby World Cup 2023 starts September, live on Sky Sport.
When we say lowest prices, we mean it. We keep costs low by buying in bulk so you save more.
We've got pallet loads of Super Tool 105-piece toolkits, just $59. And stacks of Monstera plants, only $14.99.
Where you find a competitor's lower price on the same stocked item, we'll beat it by 15%. Bulk? I'm bulking too. Lowest prices are just the beginning.
We'll never stop caring for people with cancer.
Hi, Greg Grover from Nova. Here's an offer you should be all over. It's our Endless Mobile and Broadband Multi-Saver combo. Get Endless Mobile from just $29 a month, plus 3 months free. Save again with Endless Fibre Broadband from $75 a month. And you get 2 Nokia beacons for powerful Wi-Fi. Enjoy Endless everything with our favourite mobile and broadband multi-saver combo. And don't forget, the more products you have with Nova, the more you save all over.
Does that mean you had 70 birthdays?
Oh, we're on.
Yo, Dad, run it straight. Oh, Dad, you okay?
That was just a practice. We on.
Look, Auntie, you ginger nut.
You mind?
We're on. We on.
We're on.
We on, Auntie.
We on.
Keep your whānau protected and get your COVID booster today. We on.
Robert Rabbit has lost his boots. Looking. He found them. No.
And done.
You are.
I could be your worst nightmare.
Don't let shingles crash your party. Once you reach 50, your risk of shingles increases. 1 in 3 people will get shingles in their lifetime. Talk to your doctor about vaccination with Shingrix.
40th birthday. Excellent choice. Now, let's talk Father's Day.
How do you spell reciprocating, sir?
Father's Day made by 1+U. Home Essentials Kit, $1.99, available at Bunnings Warehouse.
Ryobi.
Didn't get your enrolment update pack? You'll need to enrol or update your details. It's quick and easy to do online with just your New Zealand driver licence or passport. Feed up time. Or not. Go to vote.nz or call 0800 36 76 56.
Yeah. Y'all know y'all ain't doing nothing with this. Let's get it. Come on. Go.
Wherever you're watching, take a moment to savour this. It could be very, very special.
Auckland in front in the Battle of the Bridge, 22-6. Let's hear from the coaches at halftime. Firstly from Harbour, Kenny Addison with Ricky.
Kenny, a real grind of a first half. Where did you struggle to impose your game on Auckland?
Oh, look, we've got to, find our way into the game, and probably at times we just made it a little bit easy for them, stayed a bit too narrow and a little bit too tight, and allowed their big boys to tee off on us. And we really got to bar up in the second half and find ways to get out to those edges and try and get some reward for that.
All the best for the second half.
Thanks very much. Cheers.
Steve, really good first half for the first time this season from Auckland. So how do you build and improve on that in the second spell?
I was just doing small things well. We thought we've carried cleaned really well. Our height's good, and it's pretty tough out there with the conditions. So I think we've done small things well in certain areas, which has allowed us to get into the game, and we must continue that.
What are some of the small fixes, particularly at line-out time, that you need in the second half?
I think line-out time, both sides of the ball. We've lost 3 on our ball. 1, we didn't jump at all. But also on their side of the ball, we're not getting in the air. So it's small little individual fixes we've talked about in there. We'll be a little bit more crisp in what we do in that area. But at the end of the day, we want to play with tempo as well.
All the best for the second half.
Thank you, Ricky.
Well, if anything, conditions are improving. They're still not brilliant, but the rain's gone away. It'll be a breeze for Harbour to play into in the second half. As we look at the teams as they run out, doesn't look like anyone's made any change. Ricky will confirm that, I'm sure, in a moment. But Harbour have got a fair bit of work to do to get their way back into this one. A very accurate, efficient performance for the most part by Auckland. Just the line out, as Stephen Bates mentioned in that half-time interview, but everything else about them pretty good. It will be Oscar Collett to start the second half. Sending it down towards the 22. And Tuivasa Sheck, well, that's a heck of a kick. I've heard people say he hasn't got a kicking game. Well, that was a long kick. In fact, Sean Stevenson had a lot of time to send it infield. Now a more contestable kick, and Banks has got his hands to it, but he just couldn't grab it. And so it's back with Auckland and Ray Arce.
No advantage, obstruction. He's tried to make the tackle. No advantage, lost forward.
So Cade Banks did actually get a hand to it as he came through after that high kick.
Oh, sorry.
Confirming, TJ, no changes to either side at half-time. The rain has stopped, and yes, there is still a bit of a hefty breeze. It's just been some flags over the other side that it swung around, but no, that Harbour will be playing, and I think we saw just that kick, the height and hanging up balance there in the air.
Balance and right, please. Balance. Crouch.
It's always been a very good draining ground, this one. It's very rarely have you ever seen mud here. Of course, it's home of the Takapuna
make sure we go
Athletics
halfway.
Club as well.
Yes, you can't go over the mark.
Track meets here. It's a grass
you
track.
can't go over the mark. It's bind. It's not set.
And
let's go, please. Move the game on.
Complex
Move the game
around
on.
here too. Of course, not only the home of the Takapuna Rugby Club, but the mighty Takapuna Cricket Club. Bush away to the left. Lovely walk through there.
Bind! Sit!
So Auckland, their scrum of the second half, and Ioane off the back, and effectively as well. Good, powerful carry from him. McGann desperately got him to ground in the end. Tuivasa Sheck just out from the halfway mark. Vikena punching it up.
Leave it, ball, leave the ball.
Thomas dragged back into the ruck. But, well, a little bit lucky to get away with that. Now the kick, trying to get in behind Daniel Morgan Putirangi. Long pass goes across to Stevenson. His kick bouncing up for Roger Tuivasa Sheck, and off he goes. Oh, Morgan Putirangi did well, just managed to grab a hold of him, and here he is back with it again, and Ta'aval, well, he to clear it away, but it's been picked up by Harbour and now booted off downfield by Henry Taefu, and having to go back right to his own goal line is Ray Arce. Oh, calmly done, silky skill. Well, everything but the kick was impressive. Kick, maybe not so, but everything else was really good.
And so done with so much calmness as well from Ray Arce. How about this run? Roger Tuivasa Sheck.
McGann that time wins the line out.
Yep.
For Harbour, and they
stay bound, Akira, stay bound.
Initial roll on. Now it comes to a halt. Klein's got it in the back. He's going to let it go. Booth.
Tackle, guys.
Knee on the ground, so they have to let him go. Klein Harbour would feel they really need to be the first on the board in the second half.
Oh, shush.
Inisi this time letting it go out the back for Stevenson. Can't find a way through. Offloads it. Inisi is there.
Tackle release, tackle release.
To bring him into ground. Choked with a bit of help from Ioane.
Leave it.
Now Booth sweeps it away. Klein, another carry from him. Auckland's defence has been really well organised. Inisi. This is rather typical of what Harbour have had to do right throughout the game. Just keep probing away. Now the ball is dropped by Tom Barham, the centre. And knock on each way. So prolonged period with the ball from Harbour. Not really able to go anywhere with it.
No, and they're not winning that contact, and when they do end up going out wide, they're just, because they have to provide a bit more depth, it allows Auckland just to really rush up. They've got plenty of numbers on their feet, put some pressure on and force the mistake.
Yeah, there's a lot of effort and endeavour, isn't there, like there was in the first half, but just not that injection, that spark. And as they said at half-time, that willingness to want to get to the edge, but not winning the contest in the middle to get there in the first place.
Not if you're in front.
Crowd gathering around the hoardings in the background. I could tell you, just in the car park out behind us, there's all the food trucks out there, and it's driving me mad. The smell's coming through the back door of our little setup here. There's some good food.
Crouch.
The crowd here today.
Bain! Sit!
So Thomas. Again, Ioane off the back, and he's got a nice ball away to Plummer, who's made 2 or 3 really searching runs in this game. Thomas has been lively, nice footwork, and then floating the pass away to Reasi. Got them really stretched here if they can keep it going. Choke takes it deep inside the 22 there for Thomas. Tui Polotu, he started his run, just had to delay a little bit. Now the ball comes out the other side of the ruck, and off goes Booth, but not very far. Vikena made the tackle. Now they'll need someone to clear it away. Muffy Leo coming in to do the job. They'll go back to where the ball was initially lost forward. I think we're going to have a bit of a delay here. It looks like, is it Nakuru who's gone down with the injury on the far side?
Standing over top of it. Tom off.
Yeah, it is too. Mahonri Nakuru, he's going to need some attention.
This is the ability Auckland had, haven't they? Got a good scrum. Getting over that gain line. The effectiveness also of Ioane to suck some players in. And give that ball off to Plummer.
They struck really quickly from that scrum too, didn't they, Mills? It was in and out, boom, and Ioane off the back. And then again, Plummer, as Tony said, made some really good charges, a couple of good metres, and boom, they were gone 50 metres, Auckland, before Harbour could scramble back in time.
Yeah, Auckland have had to make a lot of tackles, and just interesting looking at the tackle counts. The front rows, Fusitua and Vikena, between them have made almost 30 tackles. Choke 12, Ioane 10. They really have knuckled down on defence. Grand Shield, if you want to just see what's happening in that game. Wellington against Southland from the Hut Rec. It's on now. Wellington hang on to that. They've got one midweek in defence against Tasman, who are playing up north later on tonight. Before that, Canterbury against Manawatu from Christchurch, the 4:30 game. There's that match between Northland and Tasman, Taniwha and the Mako. It's a 7 o'clock kickoff at Seminole Stadium, Whangarei. Hawke's Bay, Otago. What a brilliant win Hawke's Bay had during the week, coming from behind to beat Waikato. They take on Otago Sunday, McLean Park, 2 o'clock, followed by Waikato against Taranaki. And then there's that midweek game. It will be a Ranfurly Shield game if Wellington get through today's match. Keep the log. That one from Sky Stadium, Wednesday, 7 o'clock. Tasman never had the Ranfurly Shield. And Wellington will not be all that keen to give it up. What a great season they had last year, winning the double.
Crouch. Bind. Set.
The patch-up work's been carried out. And again, looking to apply the pressure at scrum time. Inisi taking it off the back and just giving Booth a little bit of room for that clearing kick. He's put it out just beyond the 22. Lobbed down to the back and nicely taken. That's a well-worked line. And no contest, but all right where it needed to be. Tui Polotu, and they drive on him.
Stay bound, stay bound.
Now bursting away with it is Vikena. Goes to ground, Thomas clears away. Plummer again. A step. Once more making inroads. He has been very good this afternoon. Akira Ioane. Now swept away. Berry.
Release.
Lock in his second season for Auckland. Tui Polotu. They're all putting up their hand for a carry here. And they keep that momentum going. Although, yeah, Stevenson sensed the opportunity. And what's more,
he's onside.
Oh, and he throws a huge dummy. But then the pass, well, having to stretch for it and not able to take it without the ball going into touch was Daniel Morgan Puturangi. But Stevenson there winning the turnover, just trying to spark something.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, trying to spark something up there. Just trying to veer back in to suck in that defender. Just needed a little bit hard of a pass for his outside.
Again, Tui Polotu is the target down the back. Pass picked up on the bounce by Adrian Choke. And almost intercepted by Nakuru. Couldn't quite drag it in. Now driven back, the kick by Zahn Sullivan. Morgan Puturangi, he had to wait for it. Good chase by Roger Tuivasa-Sheck.
Jamie, use it, it's available.
Vikena trying a bit of a counter-up just to disrupt possession. Klein carried the ball relentlessly into the heart of that Auckland defence so far this afternoon. Almost 10 minutes gone, second half. No change to the half-time score, and oh boy, that's not the first time we've seen that.
Lost forward,
we showed you that throwback to 1994 and right, almost identical spot. Henry Taefu's put it down.
13 and 8 white.
No try results this time, but it'll be a scrum to Auckland.
Yeah, he's gone.
First lot of changes coming for both teams on in jersey 16 for Auckland, Lenny Apisai replacing Suani Vikena, 19 for North Harbour, Wallace Satiti on for Nutu Inisi, the number 8, and on in 23, Alapati Leoa replacing Tom Barr in the centre.
Different scenario when it's locked on again.
Yeah, two of the hardest working players
come this way
in the game, and Nisi and Vikena head to the sideline. But Auckland are going to have a scrum 5 metres from the line.
Crouch! Bind! Set!
AJ Lamb just stepping away to the short side. Scrum powerful, arm goes out. Thomas has a dab, no, fires the pass away, and plumbers it. Harry Plummer, first try of the second half, and he deserves that after all the hard work he's done so far in this match.
Absolutely does Harry Plummer on the back end of a brilliant set piece by Auckland. and he just goes over, takes a couple of defenders with him. Outstanding try.
They're just punishing them, aren't they? Punishing Harbour errors, making the most of their time down in the 22, turning them around and then getting the carriers, the big guys rolling the sleeves up, doing their jobs, and then the likes of Plummer, who's been really good this afternoon so far, getting the points.
The mistake on the goal line does result in a try. Not directly, but from the scrum. Big shove from the Auckland forwards. Plummer, who's broken the line on numerous occasions. He's now a half centurion for Auckland, Harry Plummer. And Auckland now out to 29 points to 6, 11 minutes into the second half.
Jersey 18 on for North Harbour, Tavita Langi replacing Nick Mayhew.
Tavita Langi, who's been playing rugby in the United States and Major League Rugby for New York. He's also been part of the Blues program, so he's a Blue through and through.
Will you guys hold?
Clearing kick from Sullivan. Takes play up to the 10.
Line is the middle.
A 23-point lead now. And Auckland are just getting the job done. Well, this time it's Auckland who steal one off the Harbour throw. Reversing a bit of a trend in this match. Sullivan thought about the kick, then throws a really loose pass. Well, he's done a lot of good things so far today, Zahn Sullivan. But that one there, I think he wanted to kick, realised it wasn't on, or maybe there was something on to his left.
Yeah, and it was a hurried pass in the end. Just turned it over from a line out. So important the North Harbour stay in this. They've got to come up with a way to try and dent this impressive Auckland defence. At the moment, you've seen the close quarters, some of the ones, the tackles that have been made by the front row, McKenna and so have gone off.
Let's go, guys.
Look at somewhere else. A little bit out wider, which they've been trying to get to. Now's the time they've got to start something.
Well, there's a telling stat there.
Crouch.
The amount of ground that has been gained by Auckland with ball in hand over similar number of carries, double the distance. Well, another penalty. Now remember, they had a kickable penalty position late in the first half, opted to go for touch and didn't find touch. So this time, Oscar Collar makes sure that they get it out, and they'll go to a line out maybe 7 or 8 metres from the corner flag. Four takes it down. Mapeleo in the back, and Klein has the ball now, trying to edge it forward. Going across field now, well defended, but Klein comes bustling away. Good tackle made by Gibson, who gets up, drives through, really makes a mess of possession, but it's another penalty, picked up in an offside position.
11 blue.
Well, having a look around, Wallace Satiti over the ball. They're going to tap it. Satiti, fainted away to his right. They all fell for it, and at last, Harbour have their first try.
Gee, it was something out of nothing, wasn't it? Well done by Wallace Satiti. Just a tap on the ball, a little bit of a shape of movement out to his left, then back to his right. Fooled everyone and breaks through some tackles.
Well, they needed the spark, didn't I? Said it earlier, they needed the spark. They were looking for injection, they needed something, and it's come in the form of Wallace Satiti to try and get a bit of a foothold in this match for North Harbour. Some changes too. Congratulations to Cameron Christie on in jersey 20 for North Harbour, out of the Silverdale Club and Orewa College, making his debut for North Harbour.
Yeah, congratulations to Wallace Satiti, his first try in NPC rugby. So, Collar will have to negotiate the win with this kick. Had it his back in the first half. So, a try that just gives Harbour a flicker of hope, and the conversion not successful. So it's 29-11.
Another couple of changes too for Auckland on in jersey 21, Taupa Funaki replacing the impressive Kalani Thomas, and on a 19, Hamish Dalzell, he's replaced Josh Berry.
I think you've heard that name before, Satiti. He is the son of a great player, Samoan captain Semel Satiti. Now Stevenson bounces the kick upfield. Tuivasa Shek stepping beautifully this afternoon. Takes play back up to halfway. Ta'aval scrapping his way up to the halfway line. Funaki clears it away now. Sullivan sends a high one down to the 22. And Jamie Booth is back to cover and call for the mark.
Almost like them just to go.
Stay behind you guys.
Look at here. Jamie Booth.
He's decided just to lump it downfield. Drive Auckland back, but they've run the ball out of the backfield really well, and here's Tuivasa Shek doing so again, getting play up to the 10-metre mark. Sullivan now floating the pass, chunters wide, gets through the tackle of Banks, put on the ground just short of the 22. Funaki up beside. Good hands, Tui Pelotu tipping it on quickly to Akira Ioane. Tackle was made by Jed Melvin, who's had to do a lot of defending this afternoon. Auckland's support of the ball carrier, the clean out has been really good. Now the step from Reasi. He goes to ground just inside the 22. Funaki. Again, Ta'aval is putting his hands up. It's been ripped out of there.
That was good.
And
okay,
Harbour
the front hold.
get the turnover and drive them back. Tuivasa Shek taking it just out from his own 22. Poking the kick back downfield. Trapped at the back by Kola onto his left foot, his favourite side, and it's a nice touch. Bouncing it out almost up to the 10-metre mark in Auckland territory, and I think some more subs happening there, Ricky.
Yeah, absolutely, more subs coming in. Coming on in jersey 18 for Auckland, Sione Ahil replacing Angus Ta'aval. Another really good 60-odd minutes for him in that long recovery from injury. And in 22, Corey Evans will replace Bryce Heem.
Yeah, I'm going to keep going.
Yeah, they'll be pleased to see back in action. Heem goes off. Ta'aval, yeah.
We're going to keep going.
Really good work ethic from him today.
Here we go, we're good. Taken, play on.
Just showing the way. Now, Sullivan sends a towering kick down towards the 22. Beautifully taken by Stevenson. Positioned himself. Great balance. It's a swirling kick. He took it well. Now Suafor running onto a short pass. And they'll get a penalty here.
In-street, you've got to go back around.
Taken quickly by Booth. Puts the kick ahead, dribbling it up towards the 22. Funaki did well. Mopped it up nicely.
Use it!
First touch here for Dalzell.
Tackle.
Funaki into position. He'll send it back. He's got two options. One of them is Plummer.
You guys, all of you, well done.
And again, just happy to boot it down the middle and make Harbour come back at them. Collar. Trying to weight a kick in between a couple of players at the back. Well, Roger Tuivasa Shek didn't take it cleanly.
Yours is backwards, yours is forward.
Well, I think he did well initially. The ball didn't go forward, but then the pass did.
Yeah, I think Sullivan knocked it on as he went to pick it up. Just looked up, And that's where the mistake happened. Here it is here. Yeah.
Oh, okay, beg your pardon. So into the last quarter of the game. Harbour trailing by 18.
Just have space to go and do.
So still a
Let's
lot
go,
of work
Blue.
to be done
It's fine,
here.
Charlotte. It's fine. Space to go and do.
Try a piece in the second half. But here's a chance for Harbour just to make up a bit more ground.
Bind. Hang on a minute. Hang on a minute. Okay, so time is off. Front rows, come and listen to me. We've had a couple of changes. Stop the pre-engage. I'm now at free kick against one of you. Understand? Let's go. Let's go. Time on.
I look for Auckland maybe to try and put a bit of pressure on here. Stevenson and Leua together away to the left, and that's the way they go. Tearful. Again, defence is good from Harry Plummer. Ball's there though for Harbour. Taken ahead by Jed Melvin. Now picked up by Suafor. Another try here gets them back in the contest. There again for Harbour. Melvin picks it up, trying to fight his way towards the line.
Well done.
Choate slowing it down. They have another go. Oh boy, that was close. That was very close. Now Lungy, he stopped just short. Melvin left the ball behind. Desperate defence from Auckland right on their own goal line. McGahn having a go. Booth looks to pop it up. Stevenson floats the pass wide. And into the corner goes Daniel Morgan Putarangi. And Harbour coming back at them.
Oh, they want great build-up, some patience shown there from the Harbour forwards. There was a penalty advantage. Stevenson steps up and he gives a brilliant pass over the top because they had to try and jam in. And Harbour right back in this now.
Chipping away, didn't they? And it's hard work because they are really playing into the teeth of that breeze now, North Harbour. Auckland have been a team who've been finishing matches strongly. Now they're going to have to try and keep playing, holding Harbour off here.
I've called backwards, and I still believe, I feel this is a try, but still believe it's backwards, but given the scenario, we better check, please.
Oh, now he's not
right
certain.
Of the posts.
He wants to have a check on potential knock on.
Yeah, go for it.
So Jonathan Patterson called into the action.
I think it's gone back under his legs, JP, but this one, I don't know if that's the one. I think it's afterwards here. 15's in the way.
He just left it behind, and he was right there. He made the call on the spot.
Say that again. Same. Yep, try stands.
Yeah.
Try stands, gone backwards.
Well, try stands not enough to overturn it. Certainly look a little suspicious. The player plays at the ball and doesn't take it, but the try stands. So Oscar Kuller, well, it's 29-16. This to reduce the margin to 11 points. And he started it well left and it stayed well left. So the score remains 29-16 with just over 15 minutes to play.
More fresh legs out there for both teams now. On in 20 for Auckland, Shay Clark. He's replaced Adrian Chope. Benaki on in 17 for Fusi Tua. And on in 22, I say at Hullor, replacing Jamie Booth for North Harbour.
Congratulations to Daniel Morgan Puturangi. That was his first try in NPC rugby. Stevenson has got it amongst the heavy traffic, carrying it out of the 22. So here's...
Don't push it into him. You're not going to be rewarded for that. Use it.
Played international rugby for Tonga. And he boots it up over halfway. Nicely taken Tuivasa Sullivan now. Looking for a run, but Ruzic makes the tackle. Auckland look to get back into their work. Plummer strongly taking the line on. Sullivan again. At the back door, lovely hands from Rayasi, now space for Roger Tuivasa-Sheck, gliding his way down over the 10-metre mark. Coming in to take it, Funaki, Tuipulotu. Sullivan now, Akira Ioane, Langi coming at him, makes the tackle. Plummer. See them there with the spectacular mullet. That's Carl Ruzic from the Helensville club. Now steaming onto it, Tuivasa-Sheck. Taking some stopping too. He's looked good this afternoon, Tuivasa-Sheck. Now good progress made by Ben Aki in 17. Made his debut in Blenheim. Funaki digging it out. They're inside the 22 now. Rayasi. Good strength in the tackle too. Coming for Funaki. They've gone 14 phases. This is really typical of their play so far this afternoon. Auckland have been patient. They've been patterned. And again it comes away for Funaki. Tuivasa-Sheck trying to jink his way through. Now Apisai building nicely here. Akira Ioane. He's taken just 10 metres out from the goalposts. Going in to clear it away. Aki Dalzell. Up to 20 phases now. Sullivan. Now Evans sandwiched in a tackle. Harbour's defence is holding, and they know they can't afford to give away one more try. It'll probably end any hopes they have of getting back into this game.
Stay down, stay down.
Funaki, Sullivan. Well, they just keep probing away. The infield pass to Evans. Stevenson got over the ball initially, but there was another really good clear out. Auckland have done that well this afternoon. Dalzell left it behind him. Picked up by Sullivan. And he has a clear path to the line. And that's his second. And at 34-16 with 12 to play, kick to come. That might just be too much now for Harbour.
Yeah, I think so. Clear as you like. It went backwards, the hole opened up. Sullivan pounced on it, but you mentioned it before, Ricky. They finished strong. Their ball control and some of these carries, but the efficiency also of their clean out has been outstanding. Sullivan goes under the post.
Great response, isn't it? Having just conceded points to then come down the other end and just concerted pressure, building and building. Some of the clean outs, some of the guys on the outsides, Corey Evans, those sorts of players getting in and doing some tough stuff as well and really extending this advantage.
Well, you're right, Ricky. The multiple carries by a number of players in that build-up. Looks like Harbour going to make another change in their front row.
Yeah, Muffy Leo for Muffy Leo. Sione on in 17. Tavita coming off.
He's not exactly a smaller version, is he?
Aye.
Taken down by Ben Akeb. St Kent's Waitemata Club. Must be good, for a young prop. You come into this team and you've got Angus Ta'aval as a mentor and senior player on the side, not sliding in nicely as Stevenson. There's so much you can do from that position. He's done everything he could.
Backwards.
Getting a little bit awkward, but they've still got it. But they're back inside their own half. Hull. He's away to his left. They've found this defence pretty hard to penetrate. Collar tries the high kick. Sullivan coming forward. Oh, contested in the air. Sullivan's gone to ground.
Varnage lost forward from blue.
He was in a contest with Wallace Satiti and he's come off second best, but he's back on his feet and Harbour have got the ball back. So Hull clear it away to his right. Klein this time goes for the pass. Collar sells a dummy. Tackle made, good tackle made by Dalzell. Now the forwards take over. McGann with the carry. Christie getting involved with another carry for him. Second of this movement. The debutant lock. There he is in jersey 20. Collar. Stevenson, well, trying to bat it wide. That's gone forward. And just gets a little pat on the back from his former Auckland Grammar first 15 teammate, Akira Ioane.
He got some heat, didn't he, from the outside. He needed to tap that on, just couldn't execute. I think it was Lamb that came out of line here.
Auckland, they were really keen to pick up the win here.
Balance for you too,
They were,
on the line.
well, they edged Bay of Plenty in the first game. They were pretty well beaten by Tasman and Blenheim, but they've got a storm week coming up. Hawke's Bay, Eden Park Saturday, then Manawatu, then Northland on Sunday. So really important going into that, just to get some momentum back into their season, and they've done it really well here. Front rows go down, play carries on. Sullivan holding the ball out in front of him. He's had a very good performance today in that 10 jersey. Blake Gibson, all industry as always. Dalzell chucks one out the back door. Evans is there, throws a loose one.
It's all gone backwards.
Trying to hack it downfield was Leua, but it's been picked up by Roger Tuivasa-Sheck. He's been dancing around this afternoon in typical style, and they get a penalty. Harbour hanging on at the breakdown.
North Harbour ball.
Leua that got over that ball had occasion. He has. He's been very good this afternoon as Roger Tuivasa-Sheck.
Stevenson doesn't waste any time getting the ball into touch. Yeah, Tuivasa-Sheck, I think he's shown some real class with his decision to stay and play it out with Auckland. He had other options, of course. He could have joined a Warriors team that's just going absolute gangbusters. But I think he's shown some real class in his decision. It's a shame it hasn't, just the switch to rugby hasn't really worked out, because the potential was always there. Now Collar, he tries to thread his way through.
Ball is out.
20 points in arrears here, Harbour. And time really running out to get anything more than a bonus point, but they'll keep working away. Here's Klein, taken a hard tackle by his opposite, Lenny up his side. Auckland's defence, though, has been really good. They just keep tackling away until a mistake comes, as has happened here. Now, Plummer in a bit of space. Sullivan gliding forward. Lamb now puts on the burners. AJ Lamb, kick ahead. Chase, and a try, is it? Oh, boy, he got close there, Shea Clark.
It's lost forward and goal line dropout.
Didn't quite get there, and so it'll be a goal line dropout. But what a breakout from Auckland.
Oh, great transition, wasn't it? Defence into attack. They went wide, a couple of wide passes, speedsters. Nicely put back on the inside by AJ Lamb, but the desperation also from North Harbour.
The restart taken by Sullivan. Here's Akira Ioane.
Akira, leave it.
Said it just before kickoff that they really needed the likes of Tui Polotu and Akira Ioane effectively, and they've certainly done that, but they haven't been alone. All the forwards have put up their hand.
Tackle a player without the ball.
There's a tackle off the ball by Harbour here. Of course, Auckland comfortably in the bonus.
Hold on.
I'm sure they want to keep
Please don't wind it up.
ticking the points over.
Thank you.
Good to see just there, Caleb Tangitau on in jersey 23. That was the final change for Auckland. He replaced Celestia Reasi.
Well, it's nice too when you've got a storm week coming up. You can make full use of the comfort of using all of your bench.
Yep. Time off. Shiloh, stop.
He's just been talking about.
Dean, just hold.
I think Harbour might be about to make their final change too.
Yep, you're right. Shiloh Klein is heading off the hooker. He is being replaced in jersey 16 by Bryn Gordon.
Time on. Hold your space, boy.
Certainly there's a tremendous work rate this afternoon, Shiloh Klein.
Leave it. Oh, sorry, guys. It's not straight. Option. Scrum or line it.
Yeah, that's probably the one big work on from this game, and it has an issue that's reared its head in their earlier matches as well. The line-out just not as efficient as they really would want it to be. It hasn't really hurt them here, but you just know that in other games it might if they can't resolve a few things.
Yeah, you're right. It's just continue on that momentum, isn't it? When you get to the bigger games as well down later in the end of the season, you want that to be functioning really well.
Set! Leave it!
Hullor tries to dig it out of the back of a scrum that was backpedaling. Now they take the tap. Banks tries to get the fin going, but Tangitau, good smothering tackle from him. Dangerous, Banks, but he was not going to get away there.
Auckland really another opportunity. Try and get that line out right. Line to a short line out. Let's look over the back of the ground to the Akuranga campus.
Another one. Harbour looking to break out. Stevenson puts it on the toe. Sullivan coming across, sliding in, and Tui Vasashek. That was well done.
Okay, hold you boys, hold!
Sullivan sliding in,
well done, all on.
Gathering it, passing it off the ground. Now the kick downfield, and Harbour have to come back. Here's Banks, going to have a go. And this time manages to bump off Tangitau. Eventually stopped by Tui Polotu inside the 10.
That's 23 blue offside.
Referee's playing advantage. Tangitau got himself offside. His opposite number, Alapate Leua. Langi. Ball
turnover's good.
Ripped away, so they'll come back for that penalty against Caleb Tangitau.
Well in front.
Just a minute and a half to go now. Bills has been studying all the form for a player of the match. So some contenders. I think Harry Plummer's had a really good game, hasn't he, Mills?
Time off.
But you might have other ideas.
It's been some good performances, especially up front as well.
Time on.
Ioane's been really busy. There's his Roger Tui Vasashek out the back.
Come up. Stay bound, leave the half. He's straight through, that guy. Stay bound.
Harbour trying to have at least the last say.
Stay bound.
Gordon from the North Coast Club replacement hooker got it in the back. They brought it down illegally. Collar puts the kick across the wing. And can he get his second? Oh, he has. He has. Daniel Morgan Putarangi. Well, he reacted brilliantly to that because the kick probably wasn't where he was expecting it to go, but he veered in field and he scores his second.
I wasn't what Sullivan expected either. He was rushing to go out wide. It's a lot shorter than they both anticipated, but the angle Morgan Putarangi came in on great strength. Over he goes for his second.
That was a nice finish, wasn't it? He really had to attack and accelerate into that one because, yeah, it didn't quite come off as they imagined. But, yes, reward in the end for North Harbour, but it has been Auckland pretty dominant across the board.
Well, a good finish to the game for Harbour, but really has been a very good performance from Auckland. 5 tries to 3 they've scored. They will restart. Stevenson, well, still a chance of a spectacular finish here. Tries to draw and pass, call it, put on the ground by
turnover's good.
Akira Ioane, who's had a terrific game. Excellent on defence. He's 13 tackles, a couple of turnovers. Plummer, probably contenders for the player of the match here. Give you the details about that in just a moment. But it's going to be Auckland now who have the chance to finish it off. Ball just 5 metres out from the line. Gibson trying to muscle it ahead.
Counter-ruck's good.
Sean Stevenson coming through with a counter-ruck.
Nice counter-ruck.
And he's won a turnover. So great work from him. I'll take it the other way. Yeah, it's been picked up by Caleb Tangitau. North Harbour desperately trying to do something from one end of the field to the other, right at the end of the game. And Tangitau spotted it, swooped, scores the try, and that just finishes the job off. That's a very good end to the game for Auckland.
Yeah, Mum's pretty happy on the sideline there. Just a couple of loopy passes allows Caleb Tangitau to come through. They needed to throw it, didn't they? North Harbour. And he finishes the game off for Auckland.
So Zahn Sullivan will have the final say. He's controlled the back line nicely. The kick goes over. And so Auckland, by far their most comprehensive, impressive and efficient performance of the season. They have scored 6 tries to 3 and they have comfortably won the Battle of the Bridge here at Onewa by 43-23. Harbour played with a strong wind at their back in the first half and made a pretty good start with those 2 early penalties, but once Auckland got their game going, they were just too good today. Wobbles at line out, they'll have to address that, but everything else, the way they supported each other, just kept probing away, kept ball in hand. Considering the conditions are tricky, the weight of possession that they had, just 8 handling errors. Well, let's head down to, well, one of the better players on the field today, he was too. Harry Plummer, the Auckland captain, is with Ricky Swinell.
He's almost wandering away on us. We've got him back. Harry, congratulations. Really good performance from your team today. What pleases you about a match like this in conditions like these?
Yeah, I think the pleasing things our start. You know, we went into half-time and although the first sort of 5 to 10 minutes wasn't pretty, we bounced back from that and went into half-time with a pretty positive mindset, I guess. So disappointing thing was the back end, the start of the second half. You know, we let them back in. We probably won the first 10 minutes and then they won the next 20. So yeah, pleasing to get a result like that because Harbour's a really good outfit, well coached, and we'll take that win against them.
You haven't started matches well in your previous two. Was it something you addressed and looked at and changed anything for this week?
Yeah, it's been sort of a white elephant in our camp. So, we have spoken about it and a lot of this week's been on us. We know the answers are in our group and trying to make sure that we focus on us before we start worrying about other teams. So, it's a nice step going into, what's going to be a tough Storm week for us. So, we'll take our learnings, but also pretty stoked to get a good win here.
Yeah. How do you approach Storm week?
Great question. Depth is key. We've got a lot of young boys that are really putting their hands up, and we're comfortable that those boys will come in and take the reins and play some really good rugby. But at the same time, we've got a tough 3 matches against Hawke's Bay, Manawatu and Southland. So we really want to come out of that with 3 good wins, and it's going to be a tough week.
All the best for those ones. Well done today. Thanks, Harry.
Thank you very much.
And we'll bring Cam Suafoa straight in to have a chat. Cam, I know disappointment will be the obvious word. Where was it that you just didn't seem to be able to get your game going at times today?
Yeah, pretty disappointing, but can't fault the effort. I think where we went wrong is probably just not really stringing phases together or just like not working hard around the corner, and it was tough when there's a set line and you're just running into brick walls.
Did they outmuscle you a little bit, particularly in that first half?
Yeah, I think they did. Got their big ball carriers coming to us and we didn't really meet them at the gain line. So, I think that's where we went wrong.
Tough start to the season for North Harbour. How do you build? It doesn't get any easier. I think Tasman next up for you guys.
Yeah, we just go back to training. Plenty of good stuff in there. Just take those away and then, always work on stuff like that.
Thanks, Cam. All the best for the next one.
Cheers, thank you. Have a good one.
Yeah, they will go to Nelson, still seeking their first win of the season, but Auckland bounced back nicely from their defeat in Blenheim, and they have beaten North Harbour here at Uniwa by 43-23.